Hi everyone, my name is Paige and I would like to welcome you to our Group Together weekly webinar with our MAPS group coach and social media expert, Carlos Gill. That's right, each week we will host a free weekly webinar and you will receive the link to join. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. If in the future there are any time changes, we will notify you in ample time. These free webinars are recorded, and if you miss the webinar, you will automatically receive the recording from us. That's all for me, Carlos. You can take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Paige, and thank you to everyone that signed up and is live with us here this afternoon or this morning, depending on where in the country or the world you're tuning in from. I'm really excited to present today's webinar to you on social media strategies for real estate agents. And I'm excited for a couple of different reasons. One, because social media continues to disrupt the real estate industry, and I'm going to share with you some insights around how social media is disrupting the real estate industry, but also because we have a program called Social Media for Real Estate Agents that we offer here through Keller Williams MAPS group coaching, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that here coming up. Now, before we get started, a little bit about myself. Once again, my name is Carlos Gill. I am a marketing executive and social media strategist. I've actually been working in social media now for almost 10 years, both on the B2C and B2B side. I've worked for some pretty notable brands in consumer marketing. If you're familiar with Winn-Dixie, which is one of the largest supermarket chains in the Southeast, and then as well as Save-A-Lot. Those are two chains in which I ran social media marketing for. I also spent some time working at LinkedIn, where I ran social media for one of their business units, being the Sales Solutions business unit. In addition to the work that I've done both as an entrepreneur, startup founder, and then also marketing executive in social media, I'm also an industry speaker. You can see me speak at events like Social Media Marketing World, South by Southwest. I am an award-winning Snapchat influencer, so for those of you that follow me on social media, or if you don't, I do quite a bit of work on Snapchat as well as on other social networks. And then my work has been featured in Mashable. I write for Inc. magazine as well as other publications. And a little fun fact about me, I'm originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so shout out to anyone out there that's from my home state of Florida. And my mom and dad are actually real estate broker agents, so I grew up in this business. I know the real estate industry very well. I've helped my parents really scale and grow their business over the last 6-7 years through social media. So like I mentioned before, I am a coach for Keller Williams MAPS Group Coaching, and we do offer a social media marketing for real estate agents course. The next course begins next Thursday, June 15th. We meet every week for 4 weeks at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. And once again, we meet every week for 4 weeks. Each week we have a 1-hour teleseminar plus 30 minutes of Q&A, so each session is 90 minutes in length. The first hour is the weekly session, which covers a variety of different topics, and then we round out every session with your Q&A. Now, all of the webinars are recorded and available for playback at your convenience, so very similar to today's presentation. If for some reason you don't get a chance to tune in live, or there's a particular Thursday that you can't make it, then you can listen to the recording at your convenience afterwards. In terms of the cost to sign up for the program, it is a one-time investment of $297. And if you sign up today, which hopefully at the end of today's webinar you'll feel compelled to do so. So if you sign up today, you can save $50 on your registration. That's for today only by going to kwrievents.kw.com/SMREA3. Once again, enter the promo code, which is SAVE50, and you'll save $50 off of your registration. Now, in terms of what you can expect from the 4-week course, it is very much a deep dive into social media marketing. That's going to cover everything from Facebook to Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even live videos. So for those of you that are already using social media, as you know, there's a lot of different options out there. Creating content is not one on the same on these platforms. So really what I like to start off in session 1 is breaking down for all of you kind of the differences between all these platforms and how they work from a real estate marketing perspective. Quite a bit of what we talk about throughout the 4-week course is related back to personal branding. So personal and professional branding is something that you might have already heard. Personal branding is essentially maintaining, keeping up with your own brand outside of the company that you represent on social media. And there's a lot of reasons why you want to maintain a personal brand. The biggest being is that people today trust other people, people buy from other people. Oftentimes what really sets agents apart in this industry is things like your reputation out in the community. That's really what helps you drive referrals. Think of social media as really helping to amplify that reputation. Also in the 4-week course, we're going to talk quite a bit about the future of real estate marketing, so virtual reality, augmented reality, 360 video, and really what you need to know as a real estate professional. And then finally, strategies to win clients. And on today's presentation, I'm going to go ahead and give you some what I like to call low-hanging fruit to help you out. But some of those different strategies that you're going to learn about throughout the 4-week course are advanced tips and tricks for ad buying, more specifically how to use Facebook ads effectively. What tools to use for marketing across platforms. So one of the things that I've heard from agents over the first couple courses that we've done is that time, as I'm sure you can relate, is of the essence. You'd like to be able to be much more active on social media, but yet you have clients and open houses and showings and so forth. So there's different tools out there that you can use both from a mobile device as well as from your desktop to go ahead and help optimize your social media posts. And also schedule content. Also, some different strategies to win clients align with how to leverage emerging media to promote listings. So when I refer to emerging media, I refer to the up-and-coming social networks such as Snapchat and Instagram. And then finally, engagement strategies to drive referrals. Now, as we jump into it, why is social media critical in 2017? So, as I said before, social media continues to disrupt not only the real estate industry, but really every industry out there. And it's a really important stat to point out that as of November 2016, there's over 1.2 million National Association of Realtor members. So what that says to you is there's a lot of people like you out there. There's a lot of professionals in the real estate industry. The real estate industry, as you know, has really ballooned and blossomed, throughout the years, especially as the economy has rebounded. You have a lot more, newer agents. You have agents that have been in the business for a very long time. And what was really interesting for me to find out in doing some different research is according to the 2013-2014 Realtor Technology Survey, which, mind you, this is a survey now that's a few years old. Back then, 91% of realtors said that they use social media to some extent. So we're looking at a 4-year-old survey potentially. At that point, 91% of realtors said that they use social media. When you look at where we're at today in 2017, I would be willing to bet money on it that you probably have close to 100% of realtors using social media to some extent, whether that's just having a presence on LinkedIn or having a Facebook page. Now, why is social media really important to your industry? Well, you have to look no further than the median age of first-time home buyers. So these are your millennials. They're, median age of first-time home buyers is 32 years old. This is what I like to call your more senior millennial, but these are the individuals that, when you think about it, have already graduated college. Most likely they're already in a well-paying job, they've gotten married or in the process of getting married, they're having a family. So as all these life occurrences happen, that's typically when people are looking to buy a home. So the average median age of a first-time home buyer is 32 years old. And these, I can guarantee you, are not individuals that are going they're not reading the newspaper to see what homes are being sold. Most likely they're not driving around neighborhoods on Saturday or Sunday afternoon to go ahead and see for sale signs in front yards of different homes and communities that they like. No, these millennials are instead going to social media, they're going to Zillow, they're going to Realtor.com, and they're doing their due diligence that way. So for anyone out there who is, primarily works with this demographic, being your millennial audience, more specifically, think about them being between that, that age range of 25 to 35. You absolutely have to be using social media to engage them. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, Carlos, my average consumer, buyer, seller is, a Gen Xer or a baby boomer, and they're either in their, early to mid 40s or early to mid 50s. These are also individuals that are on social media and at least Facebook, because based on industry insight, over 1.4 billion active users reside on Facebook. That's more than the population of China. So when you think about your own activity on social media, whether you're on one of these platforms or all of them, I can assure you the majority of the folks on this call today are at least on Facebook. So I often say to real estate professionals out there, if you're going to dominate any social network, regardless of who your ideal customer is or your target customer based on age, make sure that you're using Facebook, because everyone from millennials to grandma and grandpa are using Facebook to keep in touch with those millennial grandkids or millennial kids. Now, what's really important to point out is that 77% of brand conversations on social media are, in fact, people looking for advice, information, or help. And this is according to a mentioned survey. Now, why is that relevant and important to you? Well, think about when people are typically in the market for a home, a car, a TV. Anytime people are looking for recommendations, they tend to go onto Facebook or they go onto Twitter and they'll ask, who's a real estate agent that you know, or I'm looking to potentially buy a house, or I'm thinking about selling my home and upgrading to something bigger. I know I've done that several times. In fact, most recently, when I was looking to go ahead and sell my home in St. Louis to move to San Francisco, that's exactly what I did. I went onto Facebook and I went ahead and typed, I'm looking to move to San Francisco. If anyone knows an agent that can help me find a home there, and likewise, if anyone can refer to me to an agent in St. Louis that can help me list my home. And what was really cool was that I was able to go ahead and use the same broker, but with different agents across the country, to be able to help me with both transactions, which was really nice. So keep in mind, most of the conversations that people are having online are looking for help of some kind, advice or information. And 88% of people trust online reviews by other consumers as much as they trust recommendations from personal contacts. What's really important to note is that if you have a Facebook page as an agent or as a broker, you should absolutely have the review section of your Facebook page active. Because what happens is that when someone looks you up on Facebook, chances are before they see any of the content that you post, they're going to go ahead and they're going to see the reviews that people have left on your profile. So those reviews, consider them testimonials. Anytime you sell a home to someone, anytime that you transact business of any kind, you should invite them to go leave a review on your Facebook page. Now, according to the 2017 National Association of Realtor Profile of Home Buyers and Sellers, data shows that the majority of home buyers found the home that they purchased currently on the internet. In fact, 51% said that they went ahead and found the home that they purchased on the internet. Now, it's very vague. That's not necessarily social media. But I want to point this out because it at least goes ahead and shows that based on respondent data, the majority of today's home buyers are using the internet in some way, shape, or form, whether that's social media or that's going to kellerwilliams.com or to your broker's website or to Zillow. They are going to social media and the internet in order to go ahead and find the homes that they're purchasing. Then you kind of start to see a little bit of a decline here. You have real estate agent, 34%. And then there's a steep decline. Less than 10% of respondents said that they found the home that they purchased by driving around the neighborhood and seeing an open house sign or a yard sign. Less than 10% said friend, relative, or neighbor. And then, once again, you see a steep decline from there. I really want to point out, when you really talk about disruption in this industry, I want to point out that 1% said that they found the home that they purchased in a print advertisement. So if you're investing money in print on promoting your listings or promoting your business, make sure that you think about if that's an effective resource for you. Once again, in the 4-week course that I teach, I show how to use Facebook ads and how and why Facebook ads are much more effective, both from a cost standpoint and also from a conversion standpoint, than print. What I really want to do is be able to help all of you take that, where it says friend, relative, or neighbor, I really want to help you take that 8% and get that much higher. In fact, I want to get that right above, that 50% for the internet, because I firmly believe that if you're using social media in the right way to build a brand, to build relationships, and to go ahead and seek testimonials from past or present clients, then what you're going to do over time is you're going to build a referral network for yourself. that anytime someone in the city where you transact business thinks about buying, selling, or renting a home, you're the first person that comes to mind. Now, here are some best practices that you can implement right away, and this is directly centered around promoting your open houses. First of all, that's using Facebook ads. You should absolutely be using Facebook ads anytime you get a listing, or even if you are an agent that's not necessarily taking listings and you're more of a buyer's agent. You should go ahead and be using Facebook ads to go ahead and drive people back to your website. You should be driving them back to your listing information to set up an appointment. And you should definitely be tapping into targeted ads on Facebook. This is running interest-based ads or demographic or persona-based ads. What's really neat about Facebook, and once again, I show you this much more in depth during the 4-week course, is you can go into Facebook and you can build different personas. So let's say that you are looking to go ahead and get on the radar of anyone who's between the age of 25 to 35 years old, just got married within a year, just had a baby, or got a new job. You can run ads on Facebook literally targeting anyone based on a zip code radius or city radius, as well as on age, household income status. There's just different, interest-based targeting that you can go ahead and run. So you should explore. I often get asked, Carlos, how much money should I spend on Facebook ads? And from my perspective, if you have a budget of at least $500, spend $500 a month. I can assure you that if you're doing any sort of advertisement, you're probably spending that or more on print. So maybe you scale back on print for 90 days and you run $500 a month in Facebook ads. Also, to promote your open houses or your listings, is you should be using relevant hashtags on Twitter and on Instagram. So Twitter and Instagram use hashtags quite a bit, or the content on Twitter and Instagram can be indexed and found easily with hashtags. So I'll give you an example. If you're posting a listing in San Francisco because that's your home market where you primarily transact business, then you should be using hashtag San Francisco in your content. Anytime you post a photo on Twitter or on Instagram, make sure you tag it up with the city in which you do business. Other hashtags like real estate, new house, hashtag Keller Williams, these hashtags will help get your content indexed into different feeds. So think about how hashtag feeds work like this, whether someone follows you or not on social media, provided that you have hashtags in your content. If they follow those hashtags, then they're going to see your content in their feed. So there's a lot of value in using hashtags. On Twitter, something to keep in mind is you only have 140 characters, so you have to think wisely how you use those hashtags and how many of them you use. Whereas on Instagram, you don't have the 140 character limitation, and with Instagram, you can actually post up to 30 hashtags per post, which is really nice. I also recommend that you go ahead and you schedule Facebook Live content or do Periscopes as virtual tours. So you can do a Facebook Live or Periscope, which is live video directly from your iPhone or Android device. Anytime you're at a listing, anytime you have an open house, I highly recommend that you use this as a way that you can create content that's visually engaging and appealing. Another best practice that you can implement right away is cross-channel promotion. I often see agents get caught up in just using Facebook or just using Twitter. If you really want to stand out and be successful on these mediums, you have to go what I like to call omni-channel. You have to be omni-channel present. And that means using all of the social networks: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even Snapchat. I want to give you an example. There's a Keller Williams agent by the name of Danny Fee. His last name is spelled Phee. He's in Las Vegas, Nevada. He is someone that I think really sets the bar in terms of how he uses social media as an agent. If you look at his LinkedIn, the majority of his listings, he creates a blog post on LinkedIn. What that really does is it helps his listings get pulled in Google search because of the SEO value that LinkedIn has. He also has his listings show up as a tab on his Facebook page. So definitely check Danny Fee out. But once again, cross-channel promotion is the key. If you want to be successful in social media, you have to use as many platforms as you can to get reach and drive attention. Just using one is not going to cut it. And then the last, what I like to refer to as low-hanging fruit, and once again, these are best practices that you can implement right away, are some different questions to win clients over on social media and get their attention. So the first is, are you in the market for a home, or do you know someone that is? Talk about an easy way to go ahead and get referrals. Try posting this on your Facebook page once a week. Try putting this out on your Twitter once a week. It's very simple. Someone always knows someone that's looking to buy, rent, or sell. So it's a good question to ask. Another is what's important for you in your next home purchase. This is a way that not only can you drive conversation on social media, but you can also go ahead and generate referrals this way. And then finally, can I make a suggestion or recommendation on where to? So some of the most successful agents I've seen in the business are ones that aren't forcefully always promoting themselves or selling. I think it's pretty obvious that someone sees that you're an agent with Keller Williams, they know that you are in the business of selling real estate. So think of your role in this industry and as it pertains to social media as a community ambassador. So use Twitter, use Facebook to see what are people in your community talking about. Are they looking for new restaurants to go to? Are they looking for recommendations on a show to go to this weekend or somewhere to take their family? And then engage with them around different suggestions or recommendations and some of the different activities that there are to do. Now, I talked about hashtags and as well as ads. One of the things I do quite a bit in these weekly trainings is source questions from the audience, and I'm going to share a few of the most recent and relevant questions here in today's webinar. And this one comes from Lynn. Lynn is a Keller Williams agent, and she wants to know, how do you convince my broker office manager that social media ads, videos, and hashtags work? My answer to Lynn and friends is, first of all, social media ads are no different than paying for a print TV or outdoor ad, with the exception that it's highly effective, reaching the right audience, and cheaper. So like I said before, if you're doing any sort of direct mail advertisement, chances are it's very expensive. You're paying to get mail in people's mailboxes that might not necessarily be in the market, whereas with Facebook and social media ads, you can target people based on their interest and based on different demographic data. In terms of video content are interactive and they enhance online curb appeal. So once again, going back to a traditional print ad is static. Yes, you can see a couple photos of a house, but you really can't do anything else with it. With a live video or with a video of any kind, you can press a play button and you can actually see the different features and elements of a home. And then in terms of hashtags, like I said before, hashtags really help your content to be seen by those who aren't following you or your office. The next question comes from Kelly. Kelly asks, should we be posting our just listeds using a consistent design, or should we change it up for each listing? So there's actually a tool that I highly recommend using. It's a completely free tool. I use this myself almost on a daily basis to create different social media post content, and it's actually called Canva. So if you go to Canva, which is canva.com, and sign up for an account, once again, it's a free service. What is really neat about Canva is that it's almost like Photoshop for dummies. You don't have to have a background in graphic design in order to understand Canva. It's really easy to find different templates like the ones you see on the left, and then drag and drop images like you see in the middle, and then on the right, you can customize the font, you can customize the text, you can save this content. What's really cool is that it will give you options for each of the different social networks. So whether it's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, they all have different size specifications. So with Canva, they have templates based on the social network that you use. Rachel here asks, does anyone have an opinion on City Blast, any success, or is there anything else similar that has worked for you? Now, from my understanding, City Blast is almost like a service or an agency that helps real estate agents manage multiple pages and profiles. Once again, what I've heard from a lot of different agents out there over the last several months since we started doing this MAPS coaching course is that time is of the essence, and I oftentimes get asked what's the easiest and most efficient manner to use social media, and what's your thoughts on outsourcing? Now, my thoughts on outsourcing are this. You should always rely on someone within your office, even if it's an office manager, to run your social media or assist you with your social media. I'm not a huge proponent of outsourcing social media management. I am a fan of outsourcing the actual content creation, but when it comes to management, I think that's something that you should definitely control. Now, if you are absolutely going to outsource, there's a couple of different options for you, and the first is Fiverr. Fiverr is a website that's spelled Fiverr.com, in which everything costs $5, and there's different services that you can find on there. The example I show you here on the left is I typed in real estate marketing, and you see here that for $5, someone will do a real estate marketing video for you. You see here for $5, someone will design a professional real estate flyer for you. So there's different tasks for content creation in which you can go ahead and pay for on Fiverr. Really inexpensive, low risk, high reward. If you absolutely are going to outsource any of your social media, I recommend using Elance. The example that you see there on the right that says Kathy, she's an experienced real estate agent. She charges a little over $16.60 an hour. As you can see here, it says that she's seeking an opportunity to use her 28 years experience in real estate. She used to be a licensed real estate agent, and she's really looking to pick up some freelance work, helping out as a real estate assistant. So this is just an example. If you are going to outsource any of your social media management, make sure that you go onto Elance. Now, as we look to go ahead and wrap up today's webinar, and I will open it up for questions as soon as I wrap up here, but before I do, I want to go ahead and reiterate that by the end of the 4-week course, you will have an advanced understanding of how social media networks can be applied for marketing in real estate. So you're going to have a very deep and comprehensive understanding. I'm going to help you drive more website clicks and visits from post content. So what we really want to be able to do is not only help you build your personal brand, but we want to help you drive more business. And more business is going to come by way of website visits and clicks. Throughout the end of by the end of this course, you also will be known as a community resource and industry thought leader. You're going to know how to identify and engage prospective home buyers on social media. And then you're going to learn how to develop a winning social media strategy for your business. And finally, my objective and my goal is to really help you sell more homes in 2017 and beyond. So if I'm not successful in helping you be much more successful, then neither one of us wins. So that's really the objective in the end game, is to help you be much more successful and sell more homes. And as you can see, I wanted to put this on there because I found it interesting. I went on Instagram a couple days ago and I ran a hashtag search for hashtag Keller Williams and saw that there are over 232,000 posts on Instagram that have hashtag Keller Williams. So it just goes to show that Keller Williams agents are very active on Instagram. Now, once again, the next social media marketing for real estate agents course begins next Thursday. That's June 15th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will meet every single Thursday for 4 consecutive weeks at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. The class consists of 4 weekly 1-hour teleseminars plus Q&A, so that's 60 minutes of content that I'll be presenting, plus 30 minutes of questions and answers, so 90-minute session in total. All of the webinars are recorded and available for playback at your convenience. So if you miss a Thursday and you can't make it, you can always go back and listen to that recording. And then, finally, there's a one-time investment of $297. It is absolutely worth every single penny. And as an incentive for tuning into today's webinar, we do have a $50 promotional offer for you. So if you go to kwrievents.kw.com/SMREA3 and enter that promotional code SAVE50, you will save $50, bringing your registration down to $247. But once again, that offer is exclusive for today, so be sure to go ahead and jump on it. That concludes today's webinar. I know that we do have quite a few questions that rolled in. I just want to make myself available for anyone, whether you're listening now live or whether you're tuning in on the replay. If you have any questions whatsoever that we don't get around to answering today, you can email me at carlos@carlosgill.biz. You can also visit my website, which is carlosgill.biz, and you can ask your questions there. So with that, I want to thank you for your time, and I also want to turn it back over to Paige.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Again, everyone, you have the link there, and you can save $50 today. Again, thank you so much, Carlos, for being with us today, and thank you to everyone who attended. We will see you all next week. You'll receive the link just like you did today. Thanks, everyone.